Great, thank you.
Take two. Welcome to Crafty Crows, everybody, for October. It is Black History Month in the UK, so Black History Month is our focus today. We have two absolutely stunning artists for our feature and our guest, and also look at all of you. We've got an incredible family joined together today. So I'm going to do the announcements and the housekeeping. So, if people don't know who I am, I'm Genevieve Ray. As you can see, I get about. I am hosting in a few weeks on Saturday now. But basically, love being part of the community and big joy of having all of you here. So, a bit of housekeeping for us. Please mute for each poet. You can clap after. I'll make some time for that and I will ask if everyone wants to do that. The event is being recorded, as you just heard. So, please only share poems you are happy to class as published. The open mic poets, please keep your minute. Let me start again. Please keep to your 3-minute slot. As you can see, we're building up quite quickly, so really 3 minutes is all we've got for everybody. Please use the chat to share your bios, books, and events. People are already doing that. There's a lot going on, particularly this month, so please let us know about it. And GPS is a volunteer-led society, and an incredible one, may I say. I'm very glad to be back. Please share a donation if you can. We'll put links in the chat, or consider joining a society member. It really is a fantastic thing to be part of, and the opportunity to make great events like this happen. Also, announcements. So GPS 2023 haiku competition is open. Visit the Gloucestershire Poetry Society website for information. We'll get that linked here. Crafty Crows is back for November the 1st. Our headliner is National Beat Poet Laureate John Burroughs, and guest poet will be Nick Dregg. Crafty Crows.
No, I'm going to give you headphones.
I'll just return there, guys. So to just go that back over, that was a Crafty Crows 1st of November event. Our headliner is National Beat Poet Laureate John Burroughs and guest poet Nick Dregg. And Crafty Crows December Winter Special, December the 6th, is an open mic extravaganza and a celebration of online poetry to mark 4.5 years of Crafty Crows as a welcoming space for poets. I guess we all know what we're going to be doing in December, guys. Come on, we're going to have to all go to that. So I am going to share a piece that I wrote this morning, and then later on I want to talk quickly about this, which is a anthology that I was one of the editors for. So my poem from this morning, in line with everything we're talking about with Black History Month, is called Make Some Noise. I rattle. I find when I can almost close eyes and forget form existence, regularities for a moment and sleep. I rattle awake when mindless words are spoken and erasure of natural form, unrequested opinions of existence, my hair, my clothing, my tone of voice, so on and so on and so on. I can play parody of concepts, enjoy remixing elements from both of my heritages, and seek to learn every human language. I rattle on, challenging what is deemed pretty, what is shorthand for desired trait, masking itself under unrecognized need, and then bathing itself in bigotry. I rattle out citations to back up my heartfelt statements about experiences I cannot proffer unless you want to ride inside my eyes. I rat out, allowing ancient temper to eliminate rhetoric and have been almost forgotten. Then it re-emerges with strange places. I rattle the bracing sound of my spirit in calling me to a new identity that has no interest in being pleasing, remembering so many queenly academics. I rattle and I will make noise. Thank you and welcome to the start of our open mic. Thank you very much. I saw the quad buzz. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, let me just quickly dive over and we will get ourselves cracking. So first in house is Catrice. If you are happy to go for it. Oh, Catrice, are you in? Because I know you had to pop off for a second. If not, for a minute, Charlotte, would you be okay to jump in and we'll bring Catrice back round?
Yes, that's all right.
Start.
Cool. So I'm going to do something that I think I've only done once somewhere before. So sorry if anyone's already heard it. And the inspiration for this was about how much sort of I've had to miss out of my life due to chronic illness at such a young age, and it's called Dreamcatcher. There is a time at the end of the day when all of the world just falls away, and all that is left is you in your bed with a ticking time bomb for a head. My alarm clock rings at the exact same time, but if it broke, I don't think I'd mind. I'm so sick of staring at my ceiling. It's just an alibi for your feelings. I count the clock, picturing my wings. My feathers were soft, but now they just sting. A constant reminder of what I could have been, but these wings were just not made for me. But you, look at your plume. Round the world you flew, whilst I stayed in my room. I saw the crescent. You saw the whole of the moon. I saw you dance on top of Mars. I had to sit back and watch from afar. You saw the stars set behind the sun, whilst my space and time was being undone. I watched as you dove deep into the abyss, whilst I cowered in the shadow of your eclipse. I caught a glimpse of you above Saturn, whilst I lay in your orbital pattern. I saw you swim in the sea of tranquility, whilst I drowned under the weight of your gravity. You found the many in the one, as I questioned my general relativity. So how do I dream so big when my eyes barely close? Maybe it's the way I wish for a better way to make it in this world. But this dream catching will be the death of me, as now I'm left with something I want to see. But these dreams were just not made for me. Thank you.
Absolutely gorgeous, Charlotte, and just straight in, thank you for sort of diving on in. If anyone wants to do a quick applause, I know people are clapping quiet, feel free, please. And I will give another shout out quickly to Catrice before I move to the next slot. Catrice, are you in? Can you hear me? Just double check my screens as well. I think I might have lost it for now, but that's okay. I will roll on. So, Zonkanto, are you here? I don't think at the moment. Oh, Catrice, could you hear us? By the way, I can see you. You're on screen. Not a problem. Okay, moving on to Kate. Kate Dent.
Hi. Yes.
There you go.
Hi. I'm going to read an older poem that I wrote in 2018, but it just felt like it could be right. So apologies to anyone who's heard it. It's called The Difference. Sit somewhere sharp, unrelenting, awkward. Say something without defense. Say nothing. Feel the difference. Hide under a rock, dark, wet, like this, like forefathers, belly black, frozen. Rise up, roar. Rest your head on elsewhere's edge. Roots bleached, the elbow of the land keen in your arch. Reach into the pit where muck springs. Draw succor, mellifluous, rife. Shout, shout down into the pit, dark, wet, like this, like forefathers, echoes rounding your crimson tongue. Spittle dry, ears split, spirit slag. Come home from the edge. Switch off the phone, news, lights. Listen. Mark yourself. Any implement will do. Mark yourself for privilege, shame, desirability, guile. Add up, divide by 4, average. Sit on the fence, inert. So I've got one more, which I think will keep me within the 3 minutes. Thank you. This is a recent one. So it's called Haribo. Foot up, chin forward, Slip over, back up, laugh, choke, lay down, break something, pick a winner, make it whole, hole up in adversity, suck on a Haribo. You never know, just never know. Smoke, inhale, jump for blue, do snow angels in McDonald's in August, preferably in the queue. Who knew? It could be tomorrow, it could be tonight. Carpe diem, all right, all bloody right. Dead man walking, slow down, it might never happen. Cheerios, friend or foe? Breathe in, hold it, thin, near perfect. Hum the tune, then shout out loud. Skin up, chin tight, bingo blow. Thank you.
Brilliantly poignant, Kate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And moving to a dear friend, Michael. The mic is yours.
Is that me? Okay, just making sure here.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, wasn't really aware of the that this month is Black History Month. So I'm going to do a real short little. Sorry, that's like one of these kids being missing things that just did that. Sad to say. I'm going to do one real short new piece and then do an older one that fits our theme. This is called Only an Ocean. Rusting here in dry dock, barnacles are welcome reminders of the sea. They pain as they hang tight, that is true, but still, as I am still, they recall the repetitive splash of each wave on port and starboard, the buoyant thrill of being lifted, whereas now my gravity only pulls down as I lurch towards dismantlement. In this immobile place, rust wears me thin, no fresh coats painted. I can feel the crumble. I miss each journey more than the land's end at each short conclusion. Only in ocean did I ever feel alive. And this one, like I say, is an older one, and it's called Shade from Mark Bradford. And if anybody doesn't know who Mark Bradford is, he is a phenomenal painter that everybody should immediately look up after I read. So Shade from Mark Bradford. What was is not what is. Layers pasted and torn back like the scar tissue that never heals. The black skin, resilient yet aching from endless abuse. The cry of pain reaching out to cover the landscapes, broken, cracked, but indelible, even in the face of attempts to obliterate. The charred skin of bodies lynched and left to rot showed these marks, the wild and vicious slashes of floggings and canings as well. And still, no matter how much is torn away, how intense the attempt to obliterate, to desecrate and destroy, there remain patches of proud, pure black, stubbornly holding fast to the canvas of history, refusing to be negated, no matter how denigrated, how dismissed, how denatured, no matter how powerful the tug of forces straining to unlodge them and to pull them from the story, to rip out native tongues and leave a dark pool of silence. But within these dark, inky depths, this black swamp of memory, a song vibrates, carried over burnt loam hills on fragile wings, wispy shadows lacing land with homespun pattern, lending definition and dignity, anchoring chords of hope, notes of defiance, and resonating tones of resilient spirit, a song of knowledge decrying that dormant within this world of thin and brittle, pasty and paltry, fated and fading, damned and doomed prejudice, lying in wait in the cool shadow of shade, the soft, pure richness of black will persevere. Okay, thank you all very much.
Ooh, that final line. Ooh, that's knocked me over a bit there, Michael. Bear with me a second. Namaste, mate. Honestly. Right. I'm sorry for going quiet for a second. I just moved a couple of things around. So, next up in our listing is our dear Sir Gerald. Gerald Kellis, if you were happy to take forward.
Hi guys. The first one I'm going to do is dedicated to anybody who has stopped building a railway today, and it's just called The Radical Bear. The Radical Bear is back in town, writing his radical journal down, talking to the radical stoat, conversing with the radical goat, asking questions best left to those who live in houses with fingers and toes. The radical beaver and radical dogs, the far too clever cows and hogs, they've all been chatting with the radical bear, and some are adopting a radical air. But if he keeps twisting the world in a knot, we'll need to get a gun and shoot the lot. Better count up our fingers 1 to 10, then lock up the bear, muzzle him, and then ban the writings of the radical bear, throw away the key and pretend he's not there. That way the rest will do as they're told, and all the animals stay good as gold. Meanwhile, we'll gather in the big town hall, quaff champagne and enjoy a big ball. That's not about anything that's going on in England today. The other one I'm going to read, I wasn't going to do, but Black History Month, this is the poem I wrote. I should really do it in November because I wrote it for Armistice Day, an event I did at the Karma Community Garden close to us. And we were asked to take a poem from the First World War and write a response to it. And I picked the poem by Wilfred Owen, which some of you may know, about Abraham, the sonnet he did, in which he takes the story of Abraham slaying his son, and he compares it to the First World War. And Abraham takes his son up and lifts the knife up, and when God should say, "Don't slay your son," it ends with the really chilling lines, "But Abraham would not, and slew his son, and all the sons of Europe one by one." Very chilling line in a war poem. But there's a kind of thing that's a bit of a lie about it, because of course it wasn't just the sons of Europe who were killed in the First World War. They were remembered and they got white crosses and things like that. But in Africa and in other places, and even on the Western Front, many people went to war who were forgotten, who didn't fit the picture that we now have of the First World War. And I wrote this poem, and it's called Anthem for Dead Others. And it's in my book, yes, by the way, the plug. They did not have to be white to die, or grow up in Oswestry with church nearby, clutch pocketbook poetry as they stood in line, moustaches trimmed, revolver fine. They did not have to be white to die, on the pinching metal under pinching sky. The girls who'd be hoping for better news need not be in crinoline or tucked in shoes. They did not have to be white to die. There was plenty of room when the devil passed by. When it comes to destruction, you will find that mud and coffin remained colorblind. So remember in all your funeral songs that Abraham slew also his other sons. That's for all the forgotten soldiers of the First World War. Thank you very much. That's me.
Brilliant, Gerald. Absolutely brilliant, and actually very poignantly fitting, I think. moving things slightly before our feature today, can I ask if Richard Harries would be up for jumping onto the mic?
Thank you. Yes, of course. My main BLM Matters poems are all far longer than 3 minutes, so I can't do them. So this is a new one, and it was as a result of a challenge, and it's two members of the highly influential Tory 1922 committee having a discussion. Now, what we need is Rishi Sunak as Prime Minister, but they won't wear that. Who won't? The masses, the great unwashed, the underclasses, they are so racist. Well, we foisted Johnson on them and they fell for that. Sunak has been so involved in hedge funds, and even though he did not go to Eton, he is so wealthy he could buy it, and Winchester isn't too bad, not like some common grammar school. Snigger again. And as for his vastly wealthier wife, well, how do we get him in after Johnson? Well, we could always try having Theresa May back. Raucous general laughter. I tell you, how about that stupid creature Liz Truss? Oh, don't be silly, she'd not last a month. Oh! Laughter again, especially if we told her to give Kwasi Kwarteng the Treasury. Several weeks later, well, that was fun. A great invention. The 49 days Prime Minister. They sure bollocks that up. Took a few days longer than I expected, though. That budget was hilarious. Better than we could have dreamed. And now it's plain sailing to get the underclass to elect a black Hindi of vast wealth. Think how our wealth will increase. Yeah, I'm delighted. My shares in power companies will make my current billions look small indeed. More raucous laughter. And do I have time for another one?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, definitely.
And this is an older one, and it's how an old man can spend his final years. I am now old in the autumn of my years, maybe even the winter of them. I am vastly rich. I've had a good life, no poverty, hunger or homelessness for me. In a way, I can be smug. I could buy a Caribbean island and have fun and whatever rest I want or feel I need. I can go where I want, travel, enjoy life, no complications. If I am ill, the best treatment. Expense does not matter. So it can be instant, no waiting about for me, lying on a trolley in casualty for 18 hours. But I like wealth and want more. A few billions is not enough for me. I like power of making folk crawl. I can call the lower classes the underclass, plebs, scum. I've thought about it. I will spend the last few years of my life making sure the underclass stays that way. No redistribution of wealth. Our lot is keeping it. No equality for the scum. I will keep them down with all my strength and my last breath. It will be stressful and hard, as I will be attacked by the left. I will be vilified, but I want that power. It makes me alive. It's better than sex for me. I will keep the bastards down till the moment I die. Thank you.
Fire, yes, sir. Woo! I gotta say thank you to everyone who's been part of the first half, getting down to the systematic, the oppressive, and really the feelings of how oppression works is so very, very, very on theme. Thank you, everybody, for everything you've shared. It's been brilliant. Well, it leads on to a dear sister of mine, our feature for tonight, Red Medusa. Sis, I am going to read your bio, and if you are ready to kick, the floor will be yours. So
I'm ready. Go for it.
I can't wait. Now I have to make sure I do this well and not get myself tongue-tied. Let's see how I do. So, bio for our dear Red Medusa. Red Medusa is an established poet, artist, and scholar who combines her learning from her experiences as a Black, neurodiverse, educated, working-class woman and mother with her academic knowledge of health and social inequalities to delivering moving, visceral, and disruptive poetry. Grounded in Black feminist theory, her works have led to headlines at the famous Southbank Centre in London, the infamous She Grrrowls Festival, Million Women's Rise March, and have been published in Vogue, Grazia, Forbes Magazines, to name a few. An awardee of the prestigious LISS-DTP Scholarship, Red is currently studying for a doctorate at Queen Mary's University, London, where she researches Black women's health during the COVID-19 pandemic and using poetry to explore and platform their experiences. Friends, Red
Perfect.
Medusa.
Genevieve, thank you. And thank you everyone for having me. Some of you I recently would have performed with alongside at the Gestalt poetry evening. I'm so rubbish with names, but I think that's what it's called. So I'm gonna start with an oldie but a goodie. It's a favorite of mine because it applies every single Black History Month. And it's asked for every single Black History Month. So I'm just gonna go right in with the poetry. And for those that can hear the rustling in the background, my little girl is playing with dinosaurs on the floor. So please forgive any kind of weird noises in the background. Yemaya, if you could keep that down, that'd be great. Okay. Thank you, honey. Okay, so let's start. Asterisk. I am not an asterisk, an afterthought, something other that's a little bit different. A blank space on your form where my Black is not the norm. I do not represent the spaces between B, A, M, and E, an ethnicity with no name. I am not an asterisk. I am not a by the way, or a covert way to say that I do not fit into your prescribed, divisive European ideals of false supremacy. I am not an outlier. I am not outside of anything. If anything, I am the all in everything. I am that which you say does not exist, but I am not an asterisk. I am not the acceptably light Black woman you employ to prove that your organization is not racist. An embodied get-out clause to beat the quota. I am not your equal opportunity promoter. I am not your poster girl for how much you say you help the poor or love the Blacks and the Browns. I am not your one Black friend. I am not your office clown. I am not your foot in the door to Black culture. My presence does not give you permission to speak to me in patois. I cannot be summed up in biro, in a boring white box tipped. I am not Black other. I am not mixed other. I am the sum of my ancestral mothers. I am the strength of all of my brothers. I am not an asterisk. Thank you. Okay, oldie and goodie done. You can find that in my book on Amazon, Breathing Water. And that's all you're going to get from that book because I have some new poetry for you. I'm going to move on to a poem I wrote called Black Love. I called it that because I'm rubbish at titling my poems. I just can't be asked to title them. I think poems just speak for themselves, but for the sake of convenience, I'll just call it that. And this is dedicated to my partner of 8 years. We've arrived fresh from the fires of hell, covered in soot and lead, hair matted and skin soiled and bruised, our hearts hanging out from caved-in chests, weaknesses and transgressions exposed, eyes wide open. We've seen horrors. We've bled despair, having slashed at each other's heartstrings, thinking we'd be set free from the eternity we followed each other through, committed to in every lifetime. It has always been me and you. And that's for my partner, Lee. Okay, so I'm going to give you I'm going to give you 3 more. Is that all right? Is that all right, Jason and Genevieve? That's cool? Yeah?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. So the next 3 poems. Thank you for Agatha down there. I hope I said your name right. The next 3 poems are really new. They're really, really new. And I've written a lot of stuff that I haven't shared. And the first is called Silence. And I love this poem because it reflects a lot of my feelings around what's happening to girls and to young Black girls in particular. So yeah, silence. No harp, please, Yemi, not just yet. My words may as well be spoken at the edge of a black hole's horizon, but they will be sucked into the universal abyss of misogyny, warped into a million misunderstandings and spat out as an unrecognizable mess to be ingested by those invested in keeping their positions of power as oppressors of women. So I choose silence, because in silence I find peace. Silence doesn't interrogate, gaslight, or disbelieve, betray, repeat, or deceive. And it's not going to ask me why I didn't go to the police when I finally feel safe enough to speak. I learned early that silence won't blame me for what they did, even if it means they are protected for what they did to us as kids, even if it means that we'll never see justice, even if it means they'll do it again and again, because they do, because they will. Thank you. Yeah, those who feel it know it, as we say in the Caribbean. Things mums aren't allowed to say. A new one. I remember really hating my mum, her screaming and shouting and swearing and witnessing the monster she had become when we, my brother and me, would argue over foolishness, like who had the most chips on their plate, or who gets to stay up late, or who put hands on who. From somewhere in our flat, mum's voice would boom across the bickering quicker than we could blink. Expletives that could only be described in English as terrifying preceded beatings that etched a fear of authority onto our young minds for lifetimes to come. It's no wonder then that as a child, I really hated my mum. And I won't be surprised when my children hate me, because although I don't beat them, and rarely do they hear me shout and scream, I know they can see that there are times when I'm visibly done with performing this gendered role called mum. And every now and then this admission slips past the confines of my mind, and when asked, I let myself say that I'm not doing too great at this balancing act / Jedi mind trick that I was taught is expected of me because I have a pussy. This double act of doing me and having to answer to 1,000 calls for mummy is unhealthy and causes me to feel guilt for wanting to be me again. Nobody prepared me for it. Nobody said, congratulations, the next 20 years will be blood, sweat, tears, and that ain't no metaphor. Nobody told me that doors would be shut in my face because people think mothers unreliable. I wasn't warned that my career would be set back at least 6 years by motherhood. No one told me, and I wish they would have. Because nothing prepares you for the responsibility of keeping other humans alive. There is no cure for the bitterness of seeing other parents' children allowed to live, when your days are peppered with prayers that your Black babies will survive. Things mums aren't allowed to say. Okay, so, that one always sends shivers down my legs. I'm gonna end this set with a poem I wrote yesterday at 2 o'clock in the morning. So you're the first to hear it. Some of you might be lucky enough, Genevieve, to have read it already.
I'd say
Go ahead, Genevieve, what was you gonna say?
always honoured. That's all I was going to say. Go and take it. This is such a great piece.
Thank you. Black History Month 2023. I was born on the 27th day of Black History Month. Some would say that only half of me is allowed to celebrate us. Others line up to book me when October is coming up. 2023 salutes the sisters. Salute! a greeting especially made to those arriving or departing. I have to ask, are they pleased when we arrive or happier to see us leave? Will this month be a proverbial blue plaque in his story that reads, Black women lived here, worked here, and keep dying here? A symbol that states, we see you for 31 days before society defers to its usual color blindness and gender neutrality. We survive in the margins of intersectionality. We are born, grow, live in a reality where the politics of death and the policing of our bodies are weapons wielded by the strong arm of the law, the state, and every man who thinks he can. Will Black History Month 2023 only see the me that raises the roof, the bar, and the children, despite the fact that they keep raising the rent? Black History Month, I hope you hear our prayers as loudly as you salute our power. Thank you. It's been an honor to be here. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Jason and Genevieve, for inviting me on. I've become somewhat estranged to the poetry community, only because studies and teaching and children and surviving and living gets in the way of creativity at times. But I want you to all know that I'm always here, that I love spaces like these that make people like myself feel safe. It is an honor to be seen and heard. And I'll be here listening in the background to you all share your offerings. But for now, thank you, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot.
The incredible Red Medusa. Guys, if you can open your mics, open your mouths and your hands back and forth to do this and give her the applause she needs.
Stunning. Stunning work.
Absolutely wonderful. Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Yes, just
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you so much.
So powerful.
Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Everybody's so nice.
Because they're nice people, Yamea. That's why. Say hello. Say hello.
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 Maya,
Yemi, come over here. All right, there we go.
the reason we applauded so loudly is because your mum is so talented. She's incredible.
I know my mom is so talented.
She is, isn't she? Hey.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna come off
Have a
camera
wonderful
now.
day. Stay safe.
Thank you so much.
Nice
Say
meeting
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Take care, guys. My camera's off, but I'm here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
What a set. What a star. And thank you everyone for such a brilliant first half. We are a little early for time, but actually we're beautiful. So if anyone would like to share a few quick thoughts for Red, they're very welcome. And then I think, Jason, if you're good, we will take our break ready for the second half of Adrian.
Absolutely, yeah.
Recommend to buy her book, even though she has read one poem from it. Get her book.
Do. It's stunning. Also, thank you very much everyone who's been sharing links as well. It's really lovely for all of us to support each other. Please keep doing so. It's great what events you're on, what books you've just released, all those bits and pieces. Well then, I will bring the red curtain down for the moment and say if we can all take a break. Do you want to go for 10, Jason? Is that ideal?
Great, yeah. Time to get a tea or a coffee and a break. Yeah, great.
Brilliant. So just before 8 o'clock, if you can all come back ready for Adrian and the rest of the second half. And thank you so very much. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for coming on back. And thank you for the first half, rolling into another magical second. I'm just going to go through the announcements again, just for anyone who might have missed them. So, the GPS 2023 haiku competition is open. Visit the Gloucestershire Poetry Society website for more information. There have been links about it in the chat as well, so please have a look. It's a great competition and also quite an excitable one. There's a lot of people going for it, so please, if you're a haiku writer, get on in. Crafty Crow's 1st of November event. Our headliner is US National Beat Poet Laureate John Burroughs and guest poet Nick Degg. And Crafty Crow's December Winter Special, December the 6th, is an open mic extravaganza and celebration for online poetry to mark 4.5 years of Crafty Crows as a welcoming space for poets, which is such an awesome thing we have to celebrate. So anyone who can get on down, please for November as well, but anyone who can get on down, please come on down. So, Adrian, as I said before, it's a pleasure to meet you. It would be lovely to introduce you to. Are you good to go? Are you ready?
I am ready. Can you hear me?
Yeah, really well. Then your bio, good sir. Adrian McKenzie is a spoken word artist from Stoke-on-Trent. His poetry is reflective and provocative in its exploration of personal and social themes such as identity, relationships, and power. He has published 2 collections of poetry and captivated a range of audiences in solo and ensemble performances. Dear friends, Adrian.
Thank you. Dumpling after fry bake up white. Enough is sitting at the pot. Take water, heat or little oil. If enough in yam, then it make figure rot. Say dumpling make fi man belly, but start at the nose and tongue. A little flour, little flavor, cause everything you taste buds, nothing ripe could ever go wrong. So let's play it up. Do you like you or need others to say so? If you were an arrangement of cassava, yam, or potato, would you embrace you? If you're on the menu, can you enjoy what you're made of? For me, I am Black history. My misery is more than entertainment. I am more than your posts and boxes. My aims are more than a state of war with races. Black Swan is not just a movie. I am Black history, breathing, moving. Unchained melodies make memories that become trends. Reparations are more than symbols and faces on a screen. Black is being more than a face of a team. I am black as your camera. Black is your camera, but excellence is excellence. If we sell better than, shouldn't we be the standard? See, Black history is more than a celebration of anger. I am more than American civil rights. I am protests and fights. Wouldn't you rather sleep at night? Wouldn't you rather the peace and quiet, action, reaction, traction, reap so rights and economic parity? Black is the acceptance of the village being the family. Black is more than diversity training and slavery museums. I am more than your office griot. I am nature's warmth and the evolving apple tree. I am written with joy, pain, and acumen. I am because Black love is actually, Black just is. So don't at me. We're now children of the steel pan. Became adults sending barrels home, maligned on arrival, designed for survival. Me, I feel leave your heart for England. Me mother fret, she a fret, she a fret. She said, Father God, make him reach safe. Lord, him not start life yet. Me said, me, I feel leave your heart for England, ma'am. The Queen want me come get my crown. Just a couple years and me soon come back. So 4 suitcases them did pack. The children of the steel pan. Became adults sending barrels home. Maligned on arrival, designed for survival. Me say what a bam bam when me a touch upon England every day a Sunday best, me no dress like Ang Pan. Enough man me a walk on door not town, always no. But what on earth me did leave the sunshine for? One little dirty room and I still give thanks. Rain always stay too long. And me can't take the cold so me sleep with cold time. Now, Miss Lorraine said me look like a man about town. She always out the road in her dressing down. Said Friday night a blues dance, so me drop foot to my yarn. Community centre where things are guanas yard from yard. Said children of the steel pan. Became adults sending barrels home. Maligned on arrival, designed for survival. Me said, Mama, me not take me a come back soon. Nobody tell them a yard what me a do. Money sweet, but work is hard. And as soon as we settle, me a send for you and Papa. I guess I really wanted to give people a flavor of the thought processes of the Windrush. But you know something? I am tired in Black History Month of Black trauma. See, trauma tires black and worn drive thorns. Trauma tied to the womb of mothers. Mothers are wounded seeds soiled by so longs. Long is eternity and nobody's tipping the waiter. Trauma feels like the only food on the table. Every screen screams power to the people, and we are more than able. See, the best ability is availability, but the only things we're building with our fingertips and lips. We kiss karma with deflated lips, while some use allyship as filler. Slow it down. Some use allyship as filler, vehicle for the grave digger. Grave is the response to a word ending igger, and the hard R should be robustness and removal of systems that we rage and rebel against. Again and again, we take everyone to church and nobody gets saved. It's inshallah until sticks get waved. Guess who died today? Northern Soul t-shirts are on sale, so wear your black fists to the 9 night. Dance after the wake and claim you're woke. Grieve for the broken. Go to work for a few chips, but keep a poker face into your gaga. Who's hot in the charts? We are, always among the stars. Most impacted and most impactful. We created World Star and World Stars, yet live inside the shade room. We're periodic with soteriological observations. Black is the AC, yet should really be the AU. Hey, boo, black is the AC and trauma AU, so am I only gold when I'm panned? Your unity standards don't have legs to stand up, so stand down unless your stand can write more than letters. Am I a sheep if I sleep because I need some rest? Is trauma the color of Joseph's coat or black at best? See, our trauma is never korma flavored. We claim all the salt and spices as we flame us, cremate us, bury us. Our old school keeps schooling us, and yet we never learn. My skin is running out of spaces for the burn. Our stories have no plot, just headstones and hymns singing birds. Those who come from the mud get famous for an early return. What do I need to unlearn? What can I take to live? We put the to education and won't doctor the prescription. It takes more than slow-paced, power ballad speeches to fix this. Black trauma probably has your favorite dead entertainer's estate on the rich list, whilst Mama has a fading photo of who she misses, and I can't fall asleep in her lap. The soul of black folk, always used for a bag. See, now in the year my dad was born, Caribbeans, they crossed the ocean blue. Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, Bermuda too. Calypso, reggae, top hats and suits. Invited to the dance floor, Britannia ruled. We'd bring melanin and melodies, while those left behind wished the best for us. Yeah, we'd been here before our Tilbury stop. Not in waves, but drops. 1947, Liverpool and Southampton docks. Whether it was a road test or a thank you to those 308, we got dressed for the date, hoping for streets gold paved. Now, 1948 gave Britain 1,027 of us and 2 stowaways. We arrived on a prize of war, the Monte Rosa, renamed and repainted, gifted to Jerusalem. Who'd have thought our influence would outlive Methuselah? The movement of my people caused upset in the news pages. They called it an invasion. We weren't prepared for the isms we'd be facing. Most were job seekers. They'd finished his education, others their training. We didn't let it break us. Now we celebrate us. It would be 23 years until we could legally stay here. The Windrush would be a hurricane that bore rich fruits. From Blue Mountains to Buckingham Palace fountains, at last count, we're still in the hundreds of thousands. Whether the fates carry us around to new grounds to be planted, we stand here. We are mango trees in the English country garden, orchids of Scotland and the gold of air. We arrived as decoration, now as part of the furniture. Out of many one people, here's to the next 75 years of us. Thank you for having me.
Dear friends, Adrian McKenzie, once again, please open up your mics and let him know how awesome he is.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
Oh, yes.
Such strength. Amazing.
Put it back.
Thank you.
Absolute fire. You have set the chat on fire, sir, and we'll need to go and get an extinguisher. If you have a look, it's just all the way up. Thank you so much for being with us. And with that fire start, we will carry on the second half of our open mic. I did see you pop on camera, sir. So, Espongo, are you ready to kick some ass?
Good evening, all. Thank you very much. Yes, I am ready. And once again, I'm sorry for being late. I'm gonna try to speak as loud as I can because my ears, I can't hear myself. Yeah, I'm gonna try to speak as loud as I can. I'm gonna share a poem. The poem I wanted to share, my phone is still off. So I'm gonna share this other poem. It's a short one. It's titled The Legacy. I wrote this when they removed Robert Mugabe from the presidency seat, which was more of a show to me, but that's a story for another day. Here it goes. They hid behind the name Operation Restore. But no, nothing changed. In fact, things are worse than before. Corruption can be stopped when it starts from below, but the ones who perpetrate it are on top of the law, handcuffing the brave for speaking out. Borders are full of people sneaking out, morphing to modern day slaves. It's desperation. Morphine can't heal the pain they have from this dispensation. Here's something to look at it. Many brothers are crooked, many sisters are hookers in the pub jamming snooker. Restore which legacy? For real, I beg to see. As I see it now, it was all an act to me. Peace and power to you. Thank you.
Guyabunga, cousin, Guyabunga. Jeez. Thank you. And as a lot of people have very rightly said in the chat, welcome to the UK, mate. Hey.
Thank you very much. And I'm really happy that I'm wearing my t-shirt, not a big ass Jay-Z.
I know you brought the sun with you, man. You're good. Rolling right on. Thank you so much for that kick ass openers. As a Zim girl, I felt that. I really felt that. Moving on to Pulaski. Are you good, sir? Are you happy and ready to go?
I am, and thank you so much for having me here. I hope that you can hear me. I was having difficulties with my speaker earlier. So at any rate, I thank you so much for having me here. I will read 2 poems quickly, as well as fast as I can, but I won't be, I just want to quantify. The first one I wrote is as a veteran, I wanted to write something about Black history that also was connected to my history. So during World War II, many Black veterans served and they returned home. They served abroad and returned home to racism, prejudice, and discrimination. And so this would inspire the first poem. The poem is titled Soldier. I am a lion, born of a beautiful legacy, with pride in my heart and fire in my soul. I fought for all of us, but find that I am redlined, torn, worn, threadbare, but not defeated by shadows of darkening skies. Inside me, voices roar, thunder rising from stealing shackles. I stand with my ancestors, shouting, shouting, shouting. I love my Blackness, my people, my history, my country that has not always loved me. And the second poem I would like to read is Perspective. I am Black. My eyes are brown and deep. Kinky hair, dark skin do not complete who I am. I am at once one and many, for there is more to me than we. I am a brilliant shade, a spark descending from an ancient spectrum. I am not a threat or stained statistic for political agendas. I am not a cover for those who cower behind ignorance and prejudice. I am not an expectation or callous caricature to assuage your guilt. I am mother, father, sister, brother, son, daughter. I am you. I am devotion, family, labor. I dream, struggle, rise. Your kind eyes should see me in the fair light that beams from inside. There is more to learn when the open mind chooses life, not race. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your poetry and your service, may I say, sir. Thank you so, so much. It's lovely to have you, and please come back again soon. All right, from a veteran to a troublemaker. Gary, good sir, is your food ready? And are you ready for us? Because we are ready for you, sir.
Oh, I come here to give you a job interview. That's not.
We just
Right,
got a bit later.
I can't waste time. I've been working on this to get down to 3 minutes. All right, so it's a bit of a mixture. I was lucky enough to have rice and peas yesterday with one Benjamin's fire. So I'm sort of buzzing and whatever. So watch this space. It's been two poems in one. One is regarding a book by King Andrews, and it's called White Psychosis. All right, are we ready? Can I go? Start the clock. White psychosis, white psychosis, white psychosis, white psychosis. It's not white privilege, it's white psychosis. It could be racism, sexism, discrimination, or even a little bit of dash of prejudice. But it's white psychosis. The shiver without the spine, the shuffle of seats, the use of the abacus to record 1 a penny a slave, 2 a penny a slave, 3 a penny, saying it's better. Saying it's better than it used to be, and expecting that's going to get an appropriate apology. Yeah, you guessed it, it's white psychosis. You don't have to be white to be a perpetrator of white psychosis, but it's symptomatic and prevalent to those who narcissists. See, the Conservative Party, can be. I have been indicted at birth, Malcolm X, live in a country that don't value my brands, but they want me to be English before I'm British and to withdraw me being West Indian. See, it's a deadly virus of white psychosis, not known to be rice and peas and couscous. Making spicy food plain is white psychosis. It's not know the difference. I can't. Saying all lives matter just to solve the splinters when you're referencing Black Lives Matters. You guessed it. It's white psychosis. White psychosis, white psychosis. It's not the same as mixed dosage, but it's white. White is also known for it. It spreads so hate. It spreads hate quicker than ignorance stains. It's white psychosis. And talking of which, breaking news. So Suwala Barrowman, yes, that lovely young lady, she has stated, coming out now, let me not putting our sides in my event much. White Stuart Wilder Brethren says, we have failed. We have failed, has declared that multiculturalism has failed in Europe and threatens social cohesion. This nation referred to, ironically, as United Kingdom, a kingdom which is segregated between those who have and those who have not. It is true, the honouring, and I mean the honouring, Suwala, you have failed me. Thou, fallen thyself, never to rise again, live and take comfort. Thou hast left behind powers that will work the earth and the skies. Oh, that wasn't Gary Hoskinson, that was William Wordsworth. But guess what? It's October. October all the way to Halloween, when people put hoods over them and look like a KKK. You know what BHM is? Bank Holiday Monday. And here comes little Jimmy. Little Jimmy rushes home from school on Black History Day. He can't wait to tell his mum and dad what he learned about slavery. He couldn't believe what happened to Marcus' great grandparents every day. Daddy, what did you do in the war against racism? I made cupcakes, son. Mummy, Mummy, what did you do about polarisation? I wrote a few poems, I ticked the light box, and we all pat each other on the butts. Good Cheryl boy. I dare you, open the colour chart. It's infinite shades of the same colour. A poem on diversity written with black ink and white paper is all that is. All that is. Well, son, let me tell you. Yes, your daddy. I was born a slave. I breathe the air a slave. I will die as a slave. I am, yes, you guessed it, I am a slave. Hands no longer cuffed. Keys put away for a rainy day. Don't go to Manchester. No legs shackled together, but I still can't run away. There's no books in the library like this, straight. The bloody stains of the history being 400 years. No archaeologists return the artifacts stolen from my grave. No compensations, or even, wait for this, by God, a band-aid. And there won't be no snow in Africa this Christmas. No, due to climate change, the River Congo will be frozen. So let it go, let it go, let it go. Anyway, all the slaves, let me tell you, are on minimum wage. They're on the snowplow. So once again, I've fallen myself. I am still getting up with this same bloody spade again and again. How can I forget my brother amongst mothers? I'm just a symptom of the invasion. Let me start. I will always be a slave, whether I devour subsidised strong rum or magnum champagne. I will always remain chained. The view from the top of the mountains is spared. I'm on almost seconds, so best for me to go quick. In one breath, in one breath, even a brave man gust or a wind rush or a homosy hurricane. Thus we shall overcome. Will always be my anthem. We shall overcome. Gary Hutchinson, born in England, stillborn as a UK citizen. Now just another unwanted statistic for the Brotherman invasion. Another life jacket seeking asylum. Another nurse, doctor prescribing the nation's name. Yet still no black in the Union Jack when it comes to net migration. So the truth on diversity written is on black ink and white paper. Remember that. And that's all it is. It's just black ink and white paper. It doesn't really relieve us of our duties to mankind. Just because you write a lovely verse that rhymes. Now go away, little son, and pat yourself on the back for what you learned today on Black History Day.
Very well done, Gary, good sir. Thank you, thank you. You're okay. And moving on to our poetastic Eddie Foreman, are you still with us, my dear sir?
I'm still with the thank you, my dear. Thank you for extra cheers, and thank you so much for being over here. Thank you, Ray, for being away. My name is Ed Potastical and Fantastic. These are the times of John Ryan Falls was sublime. The features were just a powerhouse of jolly good fun. Their poems and their hearts are just radiant suns. All right, the passion has begun. My name, I already tell you my intro. This is called Pitch Black Unity. A mighty wise man once said he had a dream. An eternal legacy flows like a rushing stream. There's more power to take a large brick than to hold a gun. It shows more strength to be an iron wall than a mock sun. African-American freedom fighters who are departed but not forgotten, the lottie spirits leave our beating hearts less rotten. Their fierce sacrifice hasn't been tarnished or in vain. God knows they suffer from barking ignorance, whipping stupidity, and biased reign. In their last dying breaths, they never cursed, bellowed, or raised with ill wills. Their whole impact gave the hooded phantom deep panic, fears, and chills. Our ancestors were bound in rusty, rattling, and clinking chains. Their ironclad determination helped us deal with the isolating pains. They suffered in agonizing darkness to bring us into the painless light. Some of you carelessly toss it away and hunger for spite. The unforeseen burns of backstabbings by ignorant whites. and even against ourselves, yet people forgetting that book on the bookshelves. It's not easy being a big black ink blot on a white canvas. We're trying to get this rage and stress off our roaring chest. Fighting, shouting, killing like blinded guns isn't the answer. It just spread the venomous river of hate so much faster. Hate never loves, but only exterminates and destroys. Please be mindful that we're human beings and not mindless toys. Bitter vengeance is a dish left freezing cold. Is it really satisfactory to deliver punishment sevenfold? It's easy to build instead of burning bridges. Everyone knows it's better to heal than to dig ditches. It doesn't matter if you're red, black, or white. Let's bury the hatchet and fight the good fight. There's strength in numbers, so let's become an enormous radiant sun. Let's make our voices, struggles, and powers into one. Black history isn't supposed to be celebrated in just 1 month. Let's give ancient white bigotry one massive dynamite punch. And thank you so very much.
Always the energy, always the power, dude. Yeah. Woo! Thank you so much, Eddie. And leading
That's a bit of
straight,
poetry. Woo!
yeah, coming in hot and strong and right in with the fire, as Spogo just beautifully put. And bringing straight over to Agatha, my dear. Are you happy to go? And
Hi, I thought there was somebody else before me. What amazing fire. I have 2 poems, but if there isn't a space for the second one, just let me know.
we are fine for 2. You're absolutely fine.
Thank you. Thank you. So as recorded, I'm kind of limited to previously published work. This poem is from Walking Words, Walking Words book, with Lyra Poetry Festival, and it's somewhat relevant because of Bristol's history. As a Polish national, I've got slightly different relationship to lands and things and issues. By the way, I've got a hyperactive crane fly, daddy long legs, it's just buzzing around. But so if you could imagine walking from, if you've been to Bristol or to any maritime city, from the harbour through what's become converted into metal containers city, through old jail walls and through by Louisiana pub, and then to a ship that's now a centre of cultural and poetry events. So Wapping Wharf to Bathurst Basin. Ahoy there, watch the step. There are sunken rails underfoot. On Sundays, you can step up onto a steam train or ponder your purpose over the vapours of your cappuccino, chai latte, or a good old Tetley with a splash of milk, a spoon of Tate and Lyle, warmth in the belly, centuries breathing down your neck. These rails heaved under heavy loads. The city is still healing from its slaving sins. River Avon has been liberated from the tidal tragedies. She gazes back at the urban buzz, to the full human spectrum, sedate, neutral. Don't you just love these repurposed metal cafes? They could sing sea shanties in their steel drum tones. 1,000 shipping containers slips off into our seas every year, gargling their tails to passing mackerel. This dockside has seen grime, crime, and executions. As you walk away from the water, you see a crowd of spines on shelves at the book house. They huddle, rows of patterns, no stripes, and like the prisoners inside the city jail here in the mid-19th century. Inmates contained in the cells would never have believed that you would enter a small metal unit at will to have green Thai curry or fish and chips. The lucky ones were allowed a cat to stop the rats nibbling at their feet. The old jail gate in a heavy squat won't stop you now. Ahead, before the swinging bridge, the Louisiana pub. Like a New Orleans steamboat on the Mississippi, it regularly spills music into the harbor nearby. At a fishing rod cast is another vessel, John Sebastian Lighthouse boat, the last of its tribe. Retired and obsolete, doomed to disposal, for 5 days it resisted its own execution by fire. Licked clean by flames, nursed and kitted out, is now a mutinous spoken word venue on water. No more inmates or shipmates, just poetry folk. Thank you. Is there time for another short one? Oh, super. Thank you so much. So I've been extremely lucky in Bristol to play with 4 or 5 master drummers from Africa. Absolutely amazing experience. And then from djembe, I moved on to play balafon, made by a Cameroonian artist musician. So it's a wooden xylophone, for those who don't know, a balafon. Click-clacking in bass baritone, only just resonant with your bulbous gourds. I am milking melody from your wooden slats via 14 musical udders. Tapping your surface moderato, a walkway over the river of sounds. A pier over Lake Yashing in Poland, where water shone between the planks, revealing tiny fish racing low down, close to the yellow sand of the lake bed. At night, we would get torches and homemade crayfish catchers, 2 sieves tied to 2 sticks, a giant grabbing with cupped hands. The poor crayfish cried, being boiled from camouflage into bright red. Eating greedily, our hunter-gatherer instinct was stronger than reason, click-clacking back into the 1980s. Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful, Gata. Thank you so much. And drawing on over to Naima. If you are happy to perform, it'd be lovely to have you.
Thank you. I'm reading just one poem. Limbo. Africa calling. A convoy in the shadows. Constant and ever present. A home, but not a home. Anointing my edges. Still, I fit nowhere. Here, my name is foreign. My appearance questioned. But where are you from, originally? Probes Goldilocks, cornfields in her hair. I have reconciled with the damp, dark streets, pierced by dimples of artificial, obtrusive light, illuminating an artificial pond, the dry wit and caustic humor, the sarcasm, the armor we wear, the sleazy sullied snickered of bawdry backstreet jokes, the women who reject gazing at the floor, audaciously holding his stare, the jangle of frenetic city life, the busy lives of others, filtering into our busy breaths, in the darkened alcoves and desolate cubicles of existence, Sartre echoed, "You are in bad company." The clattering coffee shops, amid sips of acrid Arabica, the inane monologues on current affairs, clandestine consultations, a temporary respite, soaked in caffeine and butter pastries. London calling, cosmopolitan and enthralling. It is the home of a lodger, the key to the kingdom, presenting the illusion of belonging without belonging, the solitude as natural as blinking. There, my name is familiar, my appearance fusing with the dry alleyways and whitewashed facades, facing off a fierce sun, in the hodgepodge pavement cafes, where once Ginsberg and Jean Genet supped on mint tea, where tolerance is privately practiced, but never publicly preached. The lamb and cumin-infused air that coils and slithers before reclining across your skin like an impermeable veil. The language of my ancestors, tinged with my Britishness. My speech fluent, yet betraying, as wide-eyed locals chuckle like a pacifying parent. You're not from here, are you? In the Medinas, the night sky turns down the heat as families parade in their best attire. Sunflower seeds whose saltiness fizzes on the tongue, sugar-roasted peanuts washed down with canary iced lemonade. The men who gawk belligerently, their eyes betraying the indignity of a shameless woman who refuses to look away. The crested clay tagines joyously bubbling away, terracotta fat jolly uncles, the enticing wisps of flavour, the fragrance of enfance, the Gnawa drum beats, a throbbing pulse, dancing, chanting, healing, a portal to the beloved on the wings of a trance, a cultural hub that captivates and offends, a shared identity, an organic pond rich with community, kindness, support, love. To serve is to be with Allah. The allotted roles deeming marriage and its fruits the paragon of ambition. Gender hindered, scornful eyes from the arbiters of decency as I light my cigarette. I am without decency, without God, casting off the shackles of both, the dogma of belief or illusion, in the clutches of tradition, bleeding bequeathed injury, spurred on by my scars. You're not from here, are you? The cross of the diaspora, life's longing for the other, each suit offering some comfort, but ill-fitting nonetheless. Thank you.
Storming, Naima. It's so great to be able to hear you again because it's been a while since the last time I saw you. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. And that leads to our host of the evening, the gentleman who does all the administrative working, that gets everything together and keeps me on time. Dear Jason Conway, would you like to take the mic?
Thank you so much. Wonderful words shared tonight. My poem is important because of the stranglehold it seems that the far right have got currently, at a time when poets need to use their gifts and make everyone's voices heard. It's called Ragnarok, the British Cut. What's left of the old gods lives out his days in nursing home Valhalla, nursing a bruised ego and dementia, mumbling myths to underpaid carers, and someone stole my thunder. Thor moans at the end of days, drunk on painkillers and a urine infection, says his half-brothers poisoned him, as he's forced a sedative so he can't scare the residents. Loki's an influencer lodging it in the city, smokes a roll-up without a filter, snorts lines with reptiles in boardrooms, whispers sweet rhetoric in Parliament, says science and the woke are the real evil. He trades greenwash with energy giants, smirks in irony at his designer garb, and reinvented good guy image on Disney Plus, says we can make the world in our image. Fenrir howls misinformation in the press. His loyal pack growl terrorists at tree huggers as the Daily Rag spills tea and grinds teeth of drivers dragging activists off the street. Jormungandr swells in waterways born from bowels and petrochemicals, lays waste to this green unpresent land, and will swallow the earth if left unchallenged. Hell greets the glut of sick and old, while the NHS and social care crumble as her brothers deny climate change, while burning skies and flashing floods. Molnir is missing, but its strike builds in the fists of the worthy, punching at sky, throwing paint and blocking roads. Cut to lightning rising as the credits roll.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Jason. And some content. I think we got you, which is great. Are you here? Can we add you in, brother?
Of course, if you will, you wish.
Lovely to see you, mate.
Lovely to see you too. A beautiful portrait. Sorry for joining late. I was in between calls, so I apologize for that. Should I just launch into a poem?
Please do.
All right. Okay. My dreadlock is the blood vein that pumps blood to my heart. 10 tons of black hair on my head completes the art of my ancestry. When my follicles shot out of my scalp, they sang a song. And as they became long, they sang a lullaby to the sky. I know black people whose afro is a disco ball for the greatest parties in heaven. Black hair is incredible when it's on the scalp of an angel. Black hair grows in the name of love. My dad took his black hair to war. I am told my dad, his hair was an AK-47. It went brah, brah, brah. There were bullets in his hair. They say my dad had hair that said a black public announcement. Black hair is God saying, God damn, I'm good. God damn, I create. I created Zumkondo. And on the first day was black hair, and black hair was with God. And on the seventh day, black hair rested. Black hair is beautiful. I defy gravity with my black hair. I am a moon landing with this black hair. I am Kemet all over again before they falsified it and called it Egypt. I am a pharaoh by design. Can't tell me my hair is not a sign, a written statement saying, Rastaman, God took their time. She wove your dreadlock one strand at a time, and when she was done, she cried, knowing this was the best hair she had fashioned out of her own. Black hair is a prayer, our mother who art in heaven, hallowed be thy hair. Black hair shapeshifts. Black hair loves you so much that when it grows to afro, it becomes a baobab tree. When black hair wakes up in the morning, it sings songs that shut shit down. My grandmother, Esther, had hair made of diamonds. Black hair. You have to mine for black hair the way they mine for gold, for coltan in the Congo. You wake up and run your fingers in black hair and say, God, you blessed me. Black hair has been around for centuries. Black hair stood the test of time. Black hair, oh, black hair, you're the love of my life. Black hair, oh, black hair. Refuse for them to blacklist you. The darker you are, the more honest you are. Zomkonto Kabate. Thank you.
I refuse to move on with this unless you give us a hair whip quick. Thank you for such a stormy piece.
That was powerful. That was powerful.
Ngibonga nawe Mzilankatha, Sibongo, siyabonga kakhulu. Bayethe.
Bayethe.
The relationship between the two of you is absolutely gorgeous. It really is. You both got to get more into the same grounding. But thank you, mate. That's gorgeous. That was really gorgeous. And moving on to a powerhouse, Leslie. It is wonderful to have you here and have you back with us. The mic is yours.
All right. Wonderful evening. I'm really enjoying it. Okay, this one's simply called Jump. 1. To jump up and land down is simple. To jump down is not, but people say that, jump down. I cannot follow this command to jump down. I cannot follow the command to jump. Into what would I jump? A thimble of sky? A nugget of dirt? The endless pool of light? I could jump into something unknown, be someone else, a shadow, some unknown I don't care for, I don't care to know. At this brink, I do not understand and hesitate there, confused and hovering, 1 foot in midair at the precipice, like the fool, but not like the fool who looks up and does not see, but like me looking down on where I'm going to go. If I jump down, about to fall forever and endless, the about to fall that will not happen because I do not like to fall. I do not like to fall and always wake from the about to fall, the hit and splat nightmare just before, and am saved. The fast beating heart knows better that no one is saved from this, the falling from great heights. 2. Magic happens through channels. There is no ordinary descent you can tune into as surely as the radio station. It travels by light, point to point to point. I cannot be turned into a cat at whim, although I have tried, and I will not be owned. 3. The child looks through the glass at the new baby she had waited and waited so long to see. The baby she will sing all her songs to. The head nurse walks towards her and says to her mother, "Don't you know that children cannot be on the floor?" Holding the gaze of her mother, the child picks up 1 foot, then another, 1 foot and the other, 1 foot, then the other, and turns to her mother and says, "I can't." 4. The cats guard my sleep in a line against the outside of my leg on the edge of the bed nearest the door, just in case one of them needs to move fast in the night. Lined up as a constellation of stars in descending order like Orion's belt, they mimic my leg's shadow, my toes outstretched into the deep night. Why, with the vast comfort, the hidden and provocative other places they could sleep alone or together in couplings, sudden parting of the ways, the leave-takings, the recouplings, in the mock caress of cushions, hidden in secret forts, perched atop brave citadels, the lookout point for the long night vigil. Of all the possible night changes of cats, of all the places to sleep, why do they choose me? They, dreaming with me, the endless, ever-connecting rooms with the others, and me dreaming with them, the chase, the capture, and their warm dish of morning milk. Is it I whose legs anchor them, a still zone in the twirling cosmos, or they in their stalwart line who cast me down into this deep ocean of stars that is night and anchor me? 5. In this night, tonight, I could jump into the unknown and become someone else's shadow and be at once as one me and not me, and be, for just one moment, infinity. That's all for me.
I almost floated away there, Leslie, I'm not going to lie. That was absolutely gorgeous. And sorry for the pun, but to jump straight in for Martine.
All right, he's going to read first in Spanish, and then I will follow up reading in English.
Oh, how lovely, yes.
Yeah, okay, so Here he goes.
Hello, everyone. Good night. I want to read in Spanish, my natural language. El nombre de mi poema se llama Que el viento se lleve. Que el viento se lleve lejos de mí el dolor, mis miedos, mis penas y nostalgias. Que se lleve de mí el cansancio y mis errores, y de la fresca lluvia deje los ríos y las cascadas fluir, que llene los manantiales de agua tibia, que el viento refresque mi alma, mi vida, y deje en completa paz a mi alma, y me conduzca hasta el verde campo para ahí poder descansar. Y así podré reparar mi armadura, triste y desgastada, que entre los olores de 1000 flores, las gardenias, petunias, rosas, claveles, encuentre un poco de paz y descansar, para acariciar y tocar mi corazón una vez más. Que el viento se lleve de mí el resentimiento y frustraciones para escuchar y entender a mis amigos, a mis hermanos, y así escuchar el majestuoso cantar de las aves, las calandrias, sensontlas, colibríes, en un himno nacional a la paz, armonía de la vida y del amor universal. Sí, que el viento se lleve todo, lo negativo, la duda, todo perjuicio de la mente de los humanos, de avaricia, coraje, furia, ceguera, odio, venganza, resentimiento. Que toda infección del ser humano en su corazón y que mata el alma del hombre. Así que el viento se lleve lejos, pero muy lejos el dolor, y que deje en el olvido, en el camino, el amor verdadero, la unidad y el respeto entre los hombres y mujeres en este mundo. Que encuentre todo en mi camino, y así lo levantaré como el viento, lo abrigaré, pondré en mi corazón y lo pondré en mi corazón.
Okay, I will read it in English. What the wind takes away, may the wind take the pain away from me, my fears, my sorrows, and nostalgia. Let it carry away from me the weariness and my mistakes, and from the fresh rain let the rivers and waterfalls flow. May the springs be filled with warm water. Let the wind refresh my soul, my life, and leave my spirit in complete peace, and lead me to the green fields so that I can rest there. And so I can repair my sad and worn armor, that among the scents of 1,000 flowers, the gardenias, petunias, roses, and carnations, may I find a bit of peace and rest to caress and touch my heart once more. May the wind carry me carry away from me the resentment and frustrations, to see, hear, and understand my brothers and my sisters, and thus listen to the majestic song of the birds, the lark, mockingbirds, and hummingbirds in a national anthem to peace, the harmony of life, and universal love. Yes, let the wind take away all the negativity and doubt, all prejudice from the minds of humans of greed, courage, rage, blindness, hatred, revenge, and resentment, every infection of the human being in his heart that kills the soul of man. Yes, may the wind carry the pain far, far away and leave it forgotten on the way to true love, unity, and respect between men and women in this world. May I find it all on my way, so I will lift it up as the wind. I will shelter it and put it in my heart.
Absolutely stunning from both of you. Thank you so, so much. And thank you for sharing your work in 2 languages, which I always love when that happens. So thank you so, so much. And bringing our open mic to what I know is going to be a grandiose finish. Clive, would you like to close us out, good sir?
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to sort of live up to my billing as being slightly too unhinged to go on too early. And I'm going to start with a haiku that isn't a haiku. It's just a 575. So I definitely won't be entering this for the competition. But it goes like this, and you can count the syllables. And obviously, most of you here are based in Britain, so you know what's going on in British politics at the moment. Some of you who are not still know, so hopefully most of you do. Home Secretary, just fuck off to Rwanda, you fascist bastard. So that's the haiku. My latest passion is flash fiction, but I like to write surreal stuff, as you probably know from my poetry. And this is a bit surreal. And I don't know whether it's any good, because I did it as an open mic last night that was a hybrid. And by the time because I was on the end on that one as well. And by the time I got to read, there was one person on Zoom and they shut the mic off at the venue. So I hadn't got a clue how it was received. So here we go. It's called Unforgettable. 19th of September 2023 is a date that will stick in my mind forever. Or was it the 18th? Not sure. But it was definitely a Tuesday. I've been talking to my nephew in Birmingham. On the telephone, obviously, though when he gets excitable, no phone is needed to hear him. He makes Brian Blessed sound like a church mouse with laryngitis. He was going on about the shoplifting problem at the Tesco where he works. How security is now so tight he can't risk it anymore. Then he went off like a firework and his pet llama hid in the wardrobe. Actually, as I was talking to him, it could have been Monday, but no matter. It had been a bad day with lots of strange happenings. A cloud had shouted, "Take that, you bastard," after it dumped its load on me as I walked down the garden path. I found a dead body in my freezer years after I thought I'd dumped it in the river. That sort of thing, you know. But I wasn't at all prepared for what happened at approximately 20, 34 and 48 seconds. I'd never been spoken to in such a manner by a spider. The lack of respect was shocking. "Are you blind? You nearly stood on me, you fucking great human lummox," is not what I expect to hear from a spider, to be honest. They normally speak Spanish. I began to think it was all a dream until it called me un saco de mierda. I trapped the belligerent bastard under a glass and called out the Arachno squad, which just happens to have its headquarters in a nearby drain. They confirmed my suspicion that this was no ordinary spider. This was a spider that had gone to Eton and studied English at Oxford University. This was a future Tory Prime Minister. I flushed it down the toilet. Yes, September the whatever it was is a date I'll never forget. Thank you.
Absolutely perfect. I just put in the comments. Clive, I love to sit out and count the amount of animals in each of your poems. So I got 2 that time around, I think.
Yeah, there's always animals in my stuff.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. Thank you so much for bringing us around beautifully and giving us the right giggle that we needed as well. Thank you so much. And everybody, you literal stars, you should be applauding yourselves. Give yourselves a big clap on the back, on the hand, up the side if you fancy it. Thank you so much for being wonderful, picking really great pieces for today. And really large and loud applause for our 2 features, Red Medusa and Adrian McKenzie.
Woohoo!
Literal legends. Jason keeping the DJ set going and keeping me on track and throwing through remixes at me every now and again. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to bring round because I literally did do it and message Jason. I went, whoops, I forgot something and I know what it was. I get so excited by the features, I forget to do my second poem. So I'm going to quickly show everyone this. If people haven't seen it, it is the Wheel Song Poetry Anthology. And I, for my sins, was one of the editors, which I went through 500 poems for about 3 weekends. It was a lot. But I thought it might be a good one to read for today. It's called School Reunion because I literally got the invite saying, hey, it's been 20 years. I was like, really? Being that school was where I first found out what racism was. Interesting. Might still go, we'll see. But I thought I might read this one quickly. School Reunion. Our 20 years are up. A gap of decades, sparse lives and names. Half the population used to shorten their ties and alter white shirts. Now they double their surnames. Prefects may nod in slight remembrance. Our graduating class glut of prefecture, expansion, those who always interrupted are now soldiers and mothers. The quiet ones are entrepreneurs awaiting questions on partnership and parentage. Proxy markers of adulthood, the dotted map born of maturity travelled, champagne rights and tissue papered tables. In spoken words, sawn into the desktops with those little compasses no one uses anymore. Do you still fancy Jimmy? Did you marry Michael? Did Shubad become a pop star? Passing notes on success, playground, life list chase. An elevated chortle over Sainsbury's wine glasses. For polite shared memories, final thoughts under a disco light. I do not remember why I came. I do not think I remember her name. That sweet-faced 16-year-old. Thank you, everybody. And I think that's curtain down.
Thank you.